Today, I'm going to try to make one of the most expensive and most sought-after ice creams in ice cream shops. But completely homemade, without a machine, and using real hazelnuts. And let me tell you this up front. When I tasted the final result, I completely understood why the hazelnut flavor has so many places crazy about it. Look at that texture! Well, if you've got a sweet tooth, I admit that when you think of homemade ice cream, vanilla, chocolate, or even pistachio comes to mind. But for as long as I can remember, when I went to an ice cream shop, hazelnut was one of the top flavors. I hadn't tried it in a while, but I recently ordered one at an artisan ice cream shop. Look at that texture, so delicious and so many memories. So since then, I've been racking my brain to replicate that at home, in a simple way, and make the result finger-licking good. Have you tried hazelnut ice cream? Is it one of your favorites too? And what if I make it without sugar too? Stay until the end, because you're gonna love today's video. We're gonna do the whole process, from whole hazelnuts to scooping it out with a spoon, without using an ice cream maker, and with a result just like a real ice cream shop. If you want, this is a good time to pause the video, grab some paper and a pen, and calmly write down the ingredients. But don't worry, I'm going to explain everything to you step by step, so you won't have any problems. Place 150 grams of already roasted hazelnuts in a mortar or a food processor. Roasted hazelnuts are so delicious. In fact, if there were an air freshener that smelled like roasted hazelnuts, I promise you, I would buy it. What you need to do is use your food processor to crush the hazelnuts. At first, as you can see, they just break apart. But trust me, if you keep processing it, it starts to break down more and heat up, turning into a kind of thick paste. A little bit of a mild oil speeds up the process. Use one that doesn't have much flavor. For example, coconut oil works perfectly. At this point, you add 2 or 3 tablespoons at most of a mild oil. Coconut oil? It works perfectly! And this will help, so that when it starts turning, it filters better and turns completely into a paste. After another minute of working it, you'll see how the texture starts to get nice. See? Take the opportunity to move everything toward the center. Wow, what a texture. Everything that got stuck to the sides. Add a pinch of salt. A pinch of salt? Yes, in ice cream. Why? Because it enhances the flavors, and we want this to have an amazing flavor. Sweetener to taste. I add a tablespoon of erythritol, but you can use whichever you like. Even condensed milk works great too. A splash of vanilla and blend again. We're looking for a completely smooth cream. As you can see, for now, I've only dirtied one little bowl, another advantage of this recipe. When everything is well mixed, you add 3/4 of a cup of milk, about 150 milliliters, and give it one last mix. You'll see how it gets just the right texture now and ends up ready to eat by the spoonful. Let's see. Look how amazing it looks. In fact, looking at this spoon is totally addictive. If you want, you can use exactly the same process with any other nut and make that flavor of ice cream. And now we're gonna whip some cream, 400 milliliters or 2 cups. But make sure it's super cold. That way it whips up much faster. You're gonna beat it with electric beaters until you notice it's nice and creamy. We want to enjoy those little bubbles that form inside. This step is important. The cream has to be whipped, but not stiff. We want that creamy touch. We're looking for the perfect balance. And now comes the mixing. I guess you were expecting that. We're gonna combine that almost whipped cream with the homemade hazelnut cream and all the flavor. So, use a spatula to get every last drop of hazelnut and use gentle folding motions. Remember that phrase. We're going to stir slowly from top to bottom and bottom to top, so it mixes gently without breaking the air bubbles. This is the typical moment where it seems like nothing is happening, but in reality, the final texture of the ice cream is forming. And once you get the color to be uniform, you'll have your ice cream mixture ready to freeze. So take a look at how it should turn out. Honestly, you already feel like eating it by the spoonful. But hold back, because it's even better when it's frozen. Pour it into any mold you want. You can use individual molds. You can use a classic ice cream loaf mold, like I do. That way, you'll make an ice cream loaf just like those in supermarkets. Look at this beauty! Or you can fill a container and serve it in classic ice cream scoops. That doesn't really matter. The important thing is that the top is nice and flat. And put it in the freezer. At least 6 hours. If you want to prepare it a day in advance, that's no problem. Now, the worst part. Wait at least 6 hours. Although, as I always say, you can prepare it the day before and forget about it. The most important moment has arrived. Let me show you how this beauty turns out. My first piece of advice: let it rest for at least 10 minutes before enjoying it. That way, the texture softens and it becomes creamy and perfect. If you used a silicone mold like I did, unmold it this easily. If you don't have this type, line it first with parchment paper or plastic wrap, and it'll turn out the same. And now I'm gonna give it the final touch. A bit of crunch on top with a few chopped hazelnuts. And now you have it, pure pastry shop quality. I promise you, this doesn't look homemade. It's delicious. Want this spoonful to be yours? Good. It's totally the classic ice cream from an Italian artisan gelato shop. It's perfect! Now I understand why hazelnut flavor is back in style. And why are sugar-free ice creams also in style? You save on that, and they're just as tasty. They have that toasted touch that always makes you want another spoonful. So good! Tell me in the comments what your favorite ice cream flavor is: chocolate, hazelnut, vanilla, pistachio, or cookie. Tell me. As of today, I think I have a new favorite flavor. This might be the best homemade ice cream of the summer. See you in the next recipe, my fellow sweet tooths. The excitement starts in the kitchen with simple, no-fuss steps. In the kitchen, the excitement begins with simple steps and no complications.